everyone, welcome back to the World Africa Day of Play. My name is Victoria, I'm the social media manager for BlackGirlGamers, and I'm here with some wonderful ladies for a panel for women leaders of the gaming industry. Let's kick it off with some introductions.
My name is Mufon Eno Grace. I am an Unreal Engine instructor, a game developer, and I'm based in Nigeria.
Hi, everyone. My name is Akuya. I am the marketing lead for BlackGirlGamers. If you're not familiar with World Africa Day, it celebrates the formation of the African Union back in 1965, but I think it's kind of grown into a worldwide celebration of Africa's growth, its creativity, its respective cultures across countries, and it's something that we wanted to celebrate today with our World Africa Day of Play. So we are spotlighting some of the trailblazers, the people that are making change within Africa's gaming industry and gaming community, who are showcasing unique perspectives within the gaming industry and being able to celebrate people's achievements as they've been making them so far across the continent. So we're here to talk about and talk to some women who have been leading the way in the ways that they can from their respective countries and get their perspective on where the industry can go from here.
My journey into the gaming industry started with the Women Techstars Fellowship. I initially focused on 3D animation and mixed reality. During the program, there was a gap when it came to getting a tutor to take game development. Recognizing this need, I took the initiative to learn game development on my own through extensive research and taking up materials and resources everywhere I could find it. And over time, and maybe as a science teacher before now, I developed the passion to teach and mentor others in the aspiring game developers in the industry. I developed the interest to teach, and I started, and it was interesting. People enjoyed my classes, and I began to encourage lots of people to come into game design. And as an Unreal Engine instructor and a key contributor at Dojo Talent, I've had the privilege of guiding more than 40 aspiring game developers, most of them women, giving me the privilege to achieve my goal of transferring my skills and mentoring others in the industry.
Is there anyone that you know of, and it may be still kind of early since they've graduated from your classes, but is there anyone that's taken your class that has gone on to start a studio or started working on a game now that you know of and are able to talk about?
Okay, so my name is Dabi Diamond. You can call me Doreen as well. I'm from Accra, Ghana. I am the Esports Association Ghana General Secretary, and I'm also the lead for Queens Africa, which is an all-female gaming community here in Ghana. Well, it started off as the only all-female esports team, but we've grown to become a bigger community of female gamers playing all genre of games, and we are loving it so far. I'm also a participant in the MasterCard Gamer Academy, and I'm happy to be here today.
So, after hearing everyone's introductions, each of you have mentioned something along the lines of getting access to funding, starting a career within the gaming industry, whether that's within esports or just game development in general. Which communities locally have you all been able to connect with and lean on for support?
I've enjoyed the support of the Women Techstars Fellowship, Tech for Them. There's a community where you talk with other, generally people in the creative industry, give advice. Usually we have seminars, workshops, boot camps. That has really helped to encourage my journey as a game developer.
Okay, so for support, especially for Queens Africa, which is the all-girl gaming community I lead, our support mainly comes from the Esports Association. That's our mother body, and they have done a tremendous job of making sure that all the opportunities that come in place in terms of tournaments come to us. We've had a few international organizations coming in to support. We've had Dr. Melita Moore from Levels Unlocked coming in. We've had Aerial Powers and WNBA Superstar coming in to support, give us gaming equipment and all that. But locally, we're still doing a lot of groundworks in terms of awareness, because there's still that stereotype when it comes to esports and gaming, and so we don't get so much support in the gaming and esports scene. We have gotten to a point where the government has seen that esports is fetching money, so they want to get into the space with us and try and make sure that it's being regulated. And also the government has formed the Ghana Esports Federation, which is also still in the process of getting formed. I believe that once it's gotten there, we'll get some form of funding and support from there as well. But locally, we still have a lot to do ourselves. It was so good for awareness that we need going to the companies and all that. Yeah. Okay, so we've gotten to a point where the government has seen that esports is kind of fetching money, and so they're getting into the space, trying to make sure that it's being regulated and all. So they're in the process of forming the Ghana Esports Federation, trying to regulate it and all that. We believe that once those processes are all said and done with, we'll be getting the needed support that we need in terms of funding, infrastructure, logistics and all that. Like I said, locally, there's a lot of awareness we need to do in Ghana to get the support we need. We've had, some companies organize tournaments and all that, but it's always focused on tournaments. I'm not saying the pro players don't deserve a career, but there are so many facets of esports and gaming that needs to be developed, and we need support for that too.
I feel like the majority of the support that I think a lot of our governments, to be honest, have been when it comes to gaming are utilizing is specifically around esports. But I wonder, Mfon and Animat, have you guys seen any difference in the investment or just interest in growing the gaming community or gaming industry in your countries beside esports, or is it just is that the main focus?
Support from initiatives like the Epic Games Women Creators Program, which is worldwide. Like the past year, I enjoyed the support. About 5 Africans were selected, amongst other women in the world, over 100 for that cohort. And also the Women Texas Fellowship for African Women, just for African women. I've enjoyed this support, resources, training, resources, and opportunity to network with like minds and professionals in the gaming industry is, to me, it's a very big one. Even though more needs to be done, there's urgent need for support in terms of outreach, education, and empowerment of African women, aspiring African women in the gaming industry. As a self-taught game developer, I know what I'm saying. Sometimes you even get to buy a course, but along the line, you stop. You need someone to talk to. Severally, I can tell you, I've reached out to so many even men, can you help me with this? I'm stuck at this C++ programming, and they themselves don't have very good understanding of it. I can tell you. I had to reach out to Asians, Europeans, on Discord. The guys on Discord have really helped me. So I would say resources and mentors. Mentorship program will really help go a long way. Thank you.
Nima, Davi, anything you want to add?
Hi. Yeah. So I have so much to say, but I'm gonna not pour everything out. I would say from our perspective, or for me, I would say we've had the pleasure of working with government, especially with Lagos State government, on various programs. We also organize trainings because we're not just one community, we're a community of communities.
I have another question, because you guys got my gears turning, because there's a lot of talk about like fellowship and mentorship. I wanted to get all of your perspective on like women in Africa's gaming industry. Like, where do you see the industry going like 5, 10 years from now?
When you join an industry, you see a lot of the bottlenecks around it. But you also have hope when you see other amazing women doing things in the space. Like here in Nigeria, we have Pokola, we have Enola, we have Susan, we have like so many women doing things in the space and building games and building programs, and it's really beautiful to see. So I would say in the future, in the nearest future, I see us bringing more women into the space. One, I see more women-led studios being successful. I also see more characters with female representation, accurate female representation. Being pushing out games that people can play and see themselves in it. So I'd say I'm quite optimistic about the growth of the sector, but I'm not also going to ignore the bottlenecks that we currently have. I have to take a bow. I'm sorry.
No worries at all. Thank you
I
for
have
coming.
to take my leave now.
Okay, can I
Yeah.
continue? Okay, I want to say Africa is the future of gaming. Currently, there are over 200 million gamers in Africa. And for the first time this year, according to research reports, that the income of gaming would net 1 billion for the first time in 2024. So gaming in Africa is becoming a real big deal, even though the gender gap between male and female is still very wide. And this is where we need to step in to educate, outreach, and reach out to. There are people definitely that will have passion for this, and also let them know the career opportunities in game development.
From where I come from in Ghana, I've even changed my Instagram bio to say esports mogul in the making. And that's where I want to see esports in the near future. We had an X Space recently, and we were talking about the esports ecosystem in Ghana, and all the panelists on it for the first time in a very long time were all females, and we were talking so much about how we want to see the whole gaming industry and esports, and everyone was bringing their ideas, and I was like, yes, this is what we need. So I'm looking forward to a future where our women are taking charge of developing games, being the executives in these top esports organizations, setting up their own organizations, organizing tournaments, even going to the extent that we're having tournaments where it's mixed. You can be in top tier one tournaments and be at par with the male teams and whatever. We're looking at more inclusion and diversity and all that. So in the near future, come 5-10 years from now, yes, there's going to be more women in the gaming industry.
You guys both mentioned the gap, the gender gap that it exists across the entire industry, but especially also still in the African gaming industry too. How do you think, or maybe have you seen so far, and how would you like to see it in the future, more support specifically from male communities, male-led studios, the people around you who should be able to support you? But what do you want for that support to look like?
Okay, for me, I think the support can come through boot camps, training sessions, mentorship programs. This will really go a long way to encourage women out there. When there is a boot camp opening, they're selected. They come in and meet a network of game developers, and they know they have somewhere to fall back when they have problems. That will really help. And then outreach, education. Personally, I regularly visit secondary and primary school in my community to educate them on the need to take tech-related courses. It starts from there. They need to be aware, and we need to change the narrative that gaming has to do with only men, boys. Once they're educated, they know that gaming is something they can try out. I think that's a good start.
So for me, I feel there's some level of support. We just need more of it, especially for our women in gaming. What we've done for Queens Africa is that we have not only focused on the play aspect of it, the esports aspect of it, but we also focused on having sure that they can build careers. So we are organizing workshops on social media management for gaming or esports organization. We're having workshops on makeup or photography production. We're having workshops on streaming, and we are making sure that the community is being fed with all the opportunities out there. I mean, for me to even be part of the Massacre Gamer Academy, it was because I was part of the Queens Africa community, which I know I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity, you understand? And this course that I'm in, it's a whole curriculum based. This Massacre Gamer Academy I'm part of is a whole curriculum based training on. We're learning on team, we're learning on what the whole form of managing a team is, we're learning how broadcast is done, we're learning how the organization does. And these are opportunities that people don't usually get. Because of these programs being in the system and sharing it to the community, people get to be a part of this, and Lights, there's QWE, and all these organizations are helping our women out there in the gaming industry as a whole. We just need to change the stereotype. For me in Ghana, people see gaming as something for people who didn't do well in school. So you end up falling in gaming. Meanwhile, it's a whole career path on its own. You need to have gone through certain training to start excelling in it. You can't get out and then be a game developer. You are self-taught. You understand, Grace. You are self-taught to become the game developer that you are right now, and it's lovely to see. So yes, and if you are able to share that training with other women, and that's the kind of support that we need. Um, like we say, if you educate a man, you educate. Just like if you educate a woman, you educate nation, and that is what we have to stand for and spread the word. So the support will come from out there, but it starts with us, one woman at a time. So we put ourselves in various mentorship programs and make sure that whatever lessons we are learning, we are transferring it back to our gamer sisters in our home countries and across the world.
You mentioned something interesting and that I've been actually thinking about too, just like the I won't say stigma, but just the stereotype of like what gaming is and who it's for, and even like more broadly with geekdom and like with comic books and graphic novels and superhero. Like, so I'm curious as just how people see the validity of the gaming industry or getting into gaming as a career so far, and is that something you still have to push for?
Okay, so you mean how people see gaming as a career? Yes, yeah, that's some persons have had the opportunity of asking some people I see or around my office there, and they say, and it's totally strange to them, and that's why the outreaches and education awareness comes in. It really comes in. Let's these women, let them see and understand that there are careers that can be developed around game development. Let them see samples. I love to always go around, show people in my phone, look at the game I develop, look at what I can do. You can do it too if you're interested. I know some of them will always go back and say, oh, the system spec is, yes, we know, but if you have the passion, it doesn't matter how long, that dream will come true. Seriously. I know that game development, having to go into the game development, you need certain you can't just use any PC. I know and I'm aware of that. It might be expensive, but if we are able to ignite the passion in the women.
I'm curious about the prevalence of women-owned studios currently, if you know of any, and in general, I think even games that are led with, whether or not it's a woman-led studio, but games led by women as well, and if there's any instances that you would talk to, as whether they're students of yours or others, studios that you've seen pop up around the continent that are specifically women-led that we should be aware of or start paying attention to.
Okay. From the experience I have so far and the number of persons that I communicate with, especially via LinkedIn and social media generally. I've not seen or come across a woman-led or woman-owned gaming studio in Nigeria or Africa, even though there are, individuals like me trying out game development on their own, but not yet a fully functional game studio. I'm thinking about that, but currently I'm gathering experiences and learning from others. So I know someday it's going to come to pass. So in Africa, I've not seen, and that's why I'm encouraging and I'm an advocate of women coming into game development.
I found one studio which I think is called Huza. I may be pronouncing it wrong, but it's Huuza. She was meant to be on this panel as well, but she couldn't make it. Her name was Marie, who started that studio, but she was the only one that I've found so far.
I'll check out that too.
Yeah, so
You said
I'm
Huza?
Huuza.
Okay.
Yeah, Huza Games.
Huza.
But yeah, it seems really interesting so far. So hopefully we can see some projects from them soon.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you your flowers because you taught yourself how to game design and then you start running development courses for women, which is amazing. Um, Diamond is back on the call and she leads Ghana's only women-led esports team, which is great. Like all of you are killing it in your own respective countries, and I just hope that we see a lot more of this, so this can be the norm. So I would like to wrap up this panel with our final question, which is there anything that you would like the gaming industry to know?
That there are women in their various corners trying their best. I may not have seen them, but I know there are because I am one of them. I saw the gap and I didn't have to waste too much time. And when I started learning, I told myself I won't have to say I need to learn for 5, 10 years before. No. Every step all the way, reached out to someone to teach. I have people teaching has a way of letting you know better. So I want the gaming industry to know that there are women that have this passion. They need to help us seek them out. So we need more awareness, mentorship program. Let's bring them out. Let's look for them. And that's majorly what. And we need resources. We need resources. We need people to fall back on. And I also want them to know that I as a woman in games, I've started giving back to the society. Currently, I help Dojo Talent I contribute to the Dojo Talent community when it's an Asian company. I help aspiring game developers in whatever way they need. After the boot camp, I've stuck onto the community. There's a problem, they reach out to me. I also want to let industry know that I'm there, I'm here, I'm ready to help. I'm ready to help mentor the next generation of gamers.
Thank you all for coming and being part of our conversation. We hope to stay connected and see where we can go from here. I'll let Vic end the call.
Thank you.
This was lovely, and I've learned a lot because there are so many amazing women in Africa that are just killing it, and I look forward to see what everyone does, continue to do in general. And that is a wrap. Thank you for watching the Women Leaders of the Gaming Industry panel, and back to World Africa Day of Play.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.